honor to be part of the commemoration and the introduction of 50 years of the integrated circuit and the planar process technology. And I hope everybody knows how this changed the world. Just the basics of the immediate benefit was, that's why we won the Cold War. That's why we won the mainframe race. That's why we became the leader in technology and the leader in economy for the whole world since that time, for the last 50 years. The most important thing about a 50-year anniversary is the ability to also honor the people that gave us that 50 years of leadership. One of them is here, Gordon Moore, another one, Jay Last, and several of you in the audience were among those heroes that brought us here. I just can't tell you how grateful the nation should be for the leadership that you gave us through those two inventions.
In the space of 1 year after the filing of these inventions and before the patent was issued, okay, we had this feat, okay? Now, this feat exceeded Moore's law. Right? That's oversimplified, granted, that the number of transistors doubles every 2 years. Now, Jay, if my math is correct, I think it's simple math, okay, it's simple enough. Does that mean you did it in 1 year with a 4x jump? That means 8 times faster than Moore's law?
It goes downhill.
Jay, Gordon, I leave you two to tackle that. Let's see what they can tell us. A story or two. But first, I have one simple question for these two gentlemen. Where'd you guys park your cars?
The parking was always a problem. But I remember one time when Noyce parked his car right out here in front, and one of our engineers left a note was on the thing, please park in back after this. Bob's 48 Mercury was?
Yes, it was.
Was not a very good representation of the quality of the work we expected to have. You know, when we walked up here, I commented that, gee, the building looked in pretty good shape. And Jay says, at least on the outside, it held up better than we did.
The thing that struck me in the early days is how big this building looked to us when the 8 of us moved in, and how quickly we filled it up. I remember at the time when we were really getting filled up, I hired somebody from another company that came here, and I wined and dined, and he thought at the very least he was going to have an office in the front. I took him out of the building, we went around to the back, I showed him the desk, I said, this is your desk drawer, you're sharing this with 5 other people.
This was a brand new building. We were the first ones that got to mess it up a bit. And it looked huge. It was 14,000 square feet. Who needed that much to make little transistors? We decided we could set up in half of it and have the other half available if we ever had to expand. You know, this was really the frontier of the development in Silicon Valley. None of these things across the street were there. That was a big open field. In fact, we experienced some of the problems. I remember the time we had to chase the jackrabbit out of the women's room.
Well, by then we at least had a women's room. It took a long time to get facilities put in here. We were using the gas station down at the corner, which didn't make us terribly popular. We told everybody, please buy your gas there, please.
Startups are a lot of fun. But some interesting work did get done here. John Erdene was our theoretician. The rest of us were setting up equipment and the like. John was calculating diffusion constants and one thing and another, and saw that the diffusion actually went into the oxide. A long way, at 10,000 per inch or so. But he suggested we leave it on. One thing led to another, and Jake took over making integrated circuits. I remember his first one. This was something to show at a trade show, not something to be a production product. And it had a couple of transistors with a flip-flop, and he had to make resistors. And he took a pencil and drew a line on the ceramic. He called those Ticonderoga resistors.
I have a lot of memories of working here with John. I mean, John and I shared an office with fourth window up there. We'd all sit back. We very often had lunch together. We'd come back after. And John developed the bad habit of buying the cheapest cigar he could find and smoking it after lunch. And so I tried to shame him into this. I said, John, why don't I give you an extra nickel a day so you can at least buy a good cigar? that shamed him into changing his smoking habits at work.
Jay, is it true that John spit on the first planar transistor to show how insensitive it was?
I think it certainly fit in with his way of doing things.
It does sound like John.
I think he did something like that, I think. Yeah.
No, he became a wild man in the laboratory. He was a theoretician when we started out. Then he became the guy that took advantage of the equipment any way he wanted. He used to go to the diffusion area and look for a furnace that didn't have anything in it at the moment and shove whatever he was trying to make into that furnace. Some of the people doing diffusion, hoping to keep things clean, didn't especially appreciate it.
Well, one thing I'd like to see that still exists in the building there, John was doing a lot of work with boron diffusion, which was a very bad actor. And his furnace faced the concrete wall of the second room there. And he kept experimenting to find the parameters until the thing blew up. So the tube would come sailing out of the furnace, hit the wall. By the time he was done, there was a great indentation in that concrete wall. I'd like to know if it still is in there.
I used to build the glass jungles that went on the diffusion furnaces. I was careful to make it so you couldn't put too much hydrogen and oxygen together. But Jean wanted me to build him one where he had complete control. He could put any mixture he wanted together. I suspect that added to the chips.
Yes, it did. It was very spectacular.
Well, you got the integrated circuit thing going after Noyce's idea. Noyce came up with the idea and went off to be general manager or something, leaving the work for the rest of it.
Yeah, that's right. Bob went on to do other things, so I carried on. Julie Blank reminded me of something that I wish we could have photographed. It took us a long time to get this building put together because of getting enough power to build it. And there was a lot of construction debris lying around. So when we really got everything working or getting ready to start, we had a floor mopping party. Everybody got a mop and mopped the floor. From now on, it's a clean facility.
Now, we had some great times here. It was a productive facility. I can't say I hated to leave it, though. I wanted to give it more space and better facility. Well, it's a pleasure to be here today and to get the IEEE plaque alongside of the historical monument. California's 100th historical marker.
Oh.
1,000, in order of magnitude here. Industry doesn't worry about that.
This business said orders of magnitude only matter in salary.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for coming today.